Hi, welcome everyone to Strategy Talks interview. We're here today with a great survivalist, one of AoE's fasting rising Twitch stream stars. Um, okay, so let's just go over survivalist. If you could just tell everyone watching about your streaming career real quick, like very quickly in like 2 minutes. How do you get started? Where you're
Yeah,
at?
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
for sure. Yeah, so I started actually on Mixer. It's kind of makes sense, I was an HD pleb, so I got to be a pleb streamer as well. So right on Mixer. The main reason I went to Mixer is because Viper was there, and also like there used to be actually a button to take you to Mixer in the DE main menu, so it was kind of just like affiliated. Microsoft made both, so I started there. First 3 months or so, I basically had like 10 viewers ish, maybe,
Right.
on average. And then I got up to like 20 for the next 3 months. So first 6 months was pretty much very little. When I would get Viper hosts, that was kind of the best. I had like three Viper
Ah,
hosts on, and that's where I gained at least like a few of the followers that are still with me today. And yeah, once Mixers was starting to die and Viper moved on to Twitch again, then I went over to Twitch and then started to get like quite a bit more popular at that point. Now, at around the same time, I was also making YouTube videos. So actually, I didn't start out streaming first. I started out with YouTube. So yeah, the first thing that I did was just make, what was my first video? I think it was how to use shift queuing in DE, like how to effectively use shift queuing in DE. That was my first video, and oh yeah, we got some people in the chat who were there. Perfect. But yeah, so basically, yeah, I've just been working on it every day. Yeah, since then,
okay.
and yeah, slowly growing.
Yeah, so you're at 6,800 uh Twitch followers right now, and that's about the span of like a year or less. I want to say that's
Yeah,
when
yeah,
Mixer
it's
died about a
just
year ago.
just over a year. Yeah,
Yeah.
just over a year ago I came here.
So how do you feel about like that meteoric rise? Like within less than 12 months, you're starting over like 20 viewers from Mixer, you bring them over to Twitch, and now
Yeah.
you're at like 68. Like just give me a bit about like just how does that feel for you?
Yeah, feels good. Feels good. I had a feeling that I'd be able to make a successful stream just from feedback that I got from early on. I also worked retail for 6.5 years before that, so I was already good at sort of dealing with people. Um, like in my job, basically, I would go through products and basically show the features and benefits and all that kind of stuff. So those skills actually transferred over to streaming really well. So, I kind of had a feeling that if I put a lot of effort into it, then I would be able to grow my channel. So I didn't think it was going to be wasted effort or anything like that. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm happy that it's coming to fruition now.
Yeah, and do you see yourself as well? I don't know if you have like another career besides your AoE stream, but do you see yourself like just doing online video content creator just like full time in the future?
Yeah,
If you're
that's
not already
basically
doing
what
it,
I've been doing. Yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. Even when I started on Mixer, I was like, yeah,
right?
well, it's COVID time, so I don't have a job anymore, so let's just do this. And
Okay.
then the Canadian government was pretty generous with the free money that they were giving
Oh,
out,
nice.
so it allowed me to start my career here without any worries. And yeah, so I got to the point where I burned through all that free money that I got, but now I'm making enough money to keep myself afloat, so it's
Yeah.
great.
All right. So I mean, it sounds like you're living the dream, and you're only going up from here. So it's only gonna get better for the survivalist stream and also the survivalist army. I don't know if that's what you call your what do you
I
call your
don't really have
viewers?
a name or anything, yeah.
Yeah. So what I
Followers.
when I took the opportunity to speak to some of the fans of your stream, and I sort of asked them, like what's the catch with survivalists? Why do people gravitate to you? And the two things that came up was, well, first of all, you're like an AoE knowledge god, so that's one thing I want to get into. And then also, you have some coaching going on, which people, well, of course, apart from appreciating it, but you also seem very adept and skilled at you know the pedagogy of coaching video games. So maybe let's start with the knowledge. Like, I know a lot of people who've been playing a game for like 20 years, but not everybody has, um, I would say, like high level knowledge of exactly how the mechanics work. How do you ascribe like how you've been able to learn it so well?
Yeah, yeah. I find that in whatever I do, I try and pay as much attention to what the people who are better at that skill are doing up until I get to be better at it. So, when I was starting out, I was just like following what other people were doing and sort of learning from that. But then as I got skilled, I found that I would focus on more details that maybe the higher level players weren't really pointing out or anything like that. Because you can kind of watch higher level players. That doesn't make you ever a higher level player. You have to
Right,
have the experience as well. So you kind of want to take what they're doing, and then you want to kind of think about the things that they're not really saying, like the little kind of actions. So you have to pay attention to a lot of the details. And I find that's the same with like anything in life. Is when I'm trying to learn a new skill, I
right.
just try and pay attention to every little detail, and then incorporate that into sort of how I'm doing it.
Yeah, and
Um, yeah, go ahead.
no, you go on.
I don't know. So
Oh
something
yeah,
you had
and
something.
I don't know if you said it before, but how long have you been actually like playing Age of Empires?
Yeah, so well, my RTS career started about 10 years ago with StarCraft 2, and I played that for about 4 years, four or
Right.
5 years, and then now I've been playing Age of Empires for 4 or 5 years. So basically, about 10 years of RTS experience. Although I did play Age of Empires when I was younger, so um, I'm not sure if I was one of the people who got it in a cereal box, but I did used to have the old disc. I had the old. I might still have Age of Kings, but so.
Wow.
I was big into the scenario editor when I was younger, just making scenarios, just like single player, just for fun. Because I really liked RPGs, so I'd make like
Right.
RPGs inside the scenario editor. So that was a lot of fun. And I learned a lot of the civs from that as well. So when I started to play competitively, I felt like I
Yeah.
kind of already knew a lot of stuff, even though I didn't really try to learn them. It's like, okay, well, I know what Britons do, I know what Franks do, so it really helped with actually getting into the game as well because I was already into it when I was younger. The only difference between when I was younger and now was really like when I was younger, my grandma would beat me, but now I don't think that's possible. So that's the biggest difference.
Oh, your grandmother used to play AoE
Yeah.
with
Oh
you?
yeah.
Oh,
The
wow.
first the first macro advice I ever got was from my grandma, and that's put 5 villagers on every resource.
Oh,
That was
wow. Grandma
five on
survivalist.
five on food,
Let's
five
go.
on wood, 5 on gold, 5 on stone. That was the first advice I'd
Okay.
ever gotten.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume she's in the top 10 now, though, right?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
That
She's smurfing.
Okay, excellent. And you mentioned that that Age of Kings, there's like hold on to that. It's gonna be worth like $1 million someday. So you've been playing, you say, for 4 or 5 years. So just in 4 or 5 years, you've just been able to become one of the most knowledgeable players, I would say, in the game, just based on, what I've seen from you. I was actually hold on. I'm trying to check out your website. Is your website still up? I
Oh yeah,
think
the
it's
Heroku. Yeah, I can post it in the chat if
yeah.
you want.
No,
I can
I
load that
think I
up.
got it. No, I got it. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Okay, okay, you got it. You got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh, there we go.
yeah, so for everyone watching who doesn't already know, apart from being one of the most knowledgeable players in the scene, Survivalist has also done us the solid of creating a website here where us noobs can really go to understand the game better, if we do have the discipline to actually learn instead of complaining on AoE Zone and Reddit all the time. So could you just tell us a bit about, your inspiration for making this website? I'll cycle
Yeah,
back into the website while you talk.
yeah, yeah, no, well, I can, yeah, yeah, I can look at your stream for the thing, although it is a little bit delayed. But anyways, so the idea behind making it was that there was no way to really know exactly how many villagers you need on each resource to maintain production. So, like, this comes back to what I was saying before. It's like you try and emulate what the pros are doing, but then there are things that they don't really tell you because
Right.
they just do it by feel. Whereas now we know exactly how many villagers we need on each resource, and you can kind of work off of that. So, you don't always want to go up to like the exact number. Say for scouts, like you don't want to go up onto like 8 or 9 on food. just to maintain scouts in the early game, because you build up food on the way up to feudal age. It's not about maintaining the scouts. So it kind of gives you a like an idea for how to play the game, but not 100%. Like, you have to go up to these numbers exactly. And it really helps in Castle Age as well, because like you will be wanting to maintain like 2 stable knights, or 2 range crossbowmen, stuff like that, or even just knowing how many villagers you need on TCs for maintaining TCs. The other one in the app, or basically there's like 2 pages. There's
All right.
that how many villagers on each resource page, and then there is the simplified tech tree that I made as well, which I
Yeah.
see that you had up there for a sec. So the simplified tech tree is basically just me rating every single unit based on civ bonuses and upgrades that they get, so that you can look at it at a glance and see sort of what your civ is good at which point in the game. It helps, well, new players, but then even also people who are good at the game as well. You can kind of see what that civ might want to go for in the Imperial Age as well. Um, oh yeah, one thing I did with that tech tree is I made sure that it was printable as well. Every single page on it, you can go Control P and it prints it on one page. So
Right.
you can also download the entire PDF from the main page, and you can just print them out, and you can have a paper copy, so you can have that by your desk or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I could probably turn that into like a nice product as well, maybe in the future.
Yeah. So I mean,
Although
I
with all the patches, it's kind of hard.
yeah, so I don't know if anybody else in the audience has any project management experience, but creating something like this is it takes a lot of effort and time. So I just think it's just amazing that you just as a self-contained project were able to put it together. Like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what was sort of like the is it like in terms of you deciding to go through a project like this, was it like in discussions with your fans, or you just said, you know what, I'm gonna
Nah,
do something?
it's all me. It's all me. And the thing is that I was learning programming for a while, just on my own. Like
Yeah.
I've been basically programming for like 5 years. I haven't really done a lot lately now that I've done so much Age of Empires stuff. But the only way that I was going to use my programming knowledge was making an app like this at this point.
Oh, okay.
I was working on my own sort of game projects and stuff like that. I've never really released anything, but I've been working on a lot of, or I was working on a lot of projects back then. And I was like, yeah, well, I can visualize how I could make this. So why don't I just do it? I'm gonna spend a couple weeks and just make this thing, and that's what I did. So I'm using JavaScript, HTML, and did I use Node.js? I think I was using Node.js for any of the nerds out there who knows what all those
Okay.
things are.
All right. So you're also a programmer. I think I'll talk about, we'll get into some of that later on in other parts of the interview. Do you have any other like projects like this? Do you have, I think you have an app as well, a phone app. I don't know if you ever got into completing it.
I've never done any phone app or anything like for that. This is the only project that I've really been working
Okay.
on that people actually see. Yeah, yeah. I don't have any other app that anyone would know about.
Right. And so that leads us to the other thing that your fans sort of says noteworthy about you, which is the coaching that you've been doing. So if you could just tell me a bit about your coaching and how's that's been for you.
Yeah, yeah. So throughout most of my streaming career, I would always just do free coaching. Just there'd be like one coaching stream every month or two, and we would go through, like, I think the first one was like 8 hours, and then the most recent one was like 11 hours straight. Just me going through replays over and over and over. Pretty exhausting. I haven't really done it recently, and the reason for that is that I've started to do paid coaching. So I've had a lot of people want that. Of course, it's not for everyone, but some people are fine with me streaming the paid coaching, so it kind of works for everyone.
Right.
Um, and yeah, that's brought a lot of people to the channel. It's brought a little bit more money into my wallet as well, which is kind of nice. It helps me to keep the stream going. The only thing is that it takes a lot of time, so I haven't been streaming quite as much lately. But as you have seen, I've gotten a
Right.
lot better at the game. So,
Yeah.
I am improving myself by coaching other people. So, I think it's win-win for everybody, really. Like, I was getting pretty close to 2.2K today. and I haven't done anything special. All I've done is drilled 100 times through the scouts build, and that's all I did, really. But the thing is with the coaching, um, a lot of people they like my style. You were saying basically, and the reason for that is that I don't just say random stuff like when I'm coaching. I actually have a plan for what I'm gonna go over
Hmm.
for this paid coaching stuff. Anyways, I have a plan of what we're gonna go over, and I try to only say things that I have actually proven to be accurate. Like instead of taking a guess at how something works, if somebody posts something, say in my Discord, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna answer this, and I'm like, oh, I'm not actually 100% sure if that's how it works. I'm gonna go
Right.
test it in the game and first
Okay.
before answering. So that's kind of how I operate in general. But yeah,
Yeah.
it helps for the coaching as well.
Yeah. So you mentioned a bit about your own journey through the ranks. I'm gonna circle back to that. I don't wanna get in too much into it right now. But so on the main screen here, I'm gonna throw up your the YouTube, which
Oh,
is
here we go.
at 4,700 subscribers. Congratulations on that, by the way. And
57.
oh, sorry, my bad. 5,700 subscribers.
Yeah, no, there, yeah.
Mr. Survivalist is a beast here. And as you can see, for those who are not familiar with Survivalist and just watching the video of this, you could actually go on his page and there's like a wealth of content here just to get newer players or even if players improving on their game. There's so many tips and different ways of looking at the game. I have a favorite video here. As you can see, I've watched some of these. There was one you did, I think, 2, 3 months ago. Was it like a two-part or a three-part series? Like how to improve,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, like this
Yeah,
series right here is a
my
beast.
most popular. Look at
Yeah,
that, 135K views.
yeah.
Uh, Pretty great. Yeah, and one thing I will mention, if you go to the playlists, if you go to the knowledge playlist, that's where all the proper, like, good, scripted
Oh,
videos
nice.
are. So I've created playlists here. Yeah, like how to improve is in its own playlist, but then there is a knowledge playlist that has all of the proper videos. Because I used to upload my 1v1
Right.
videos to this channel, but now I'm uploading it to a separate channel, just so that I'm not spamming the main channel with 1v1 uploads every couple days. Is
All
too
right.
much.
Excellent. Excellent. Um,
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think like for those who watching who don't know, I just wanted them to just know that go to this channel and you'll get better at the game, guaranteed. But other than that, I could you just talk to a bit about your experience on YouTube as opposed to Twitch?
Yeah, so it's very different. I sort of mentioned earlier that I go to the lake to write my scripts, and yeah, what I do basically first thing, I have an idea for what I want to make. Next, I will go grab some lunch or something like that on a nice sunny day. I'll go to a bench at the lake and I'll just write everything by hand. So pen and paper. I write like basically one page is about a minute and 10 seconds worth of video. So I sort of know the length of the video just by that. And it
Right.
takes me about an hour to write like 2 pages a lot of the time. It's just a pretty long process, but I enjoy doing it. So once I get the entire script written, which usually takes a few days, then what I'll do, probably procrastinate for a little bit, but then eventually I will get to doing the audio recording. So I will just go through the entire script, record audio, and then what I do is I get video clips, and then I have to put them together and put all of the audio with that. These days, actually, I got a guy to do video editing for my most recent video, so I'm gonna get him to
Oh,
do
nice.
the next one as well, which really does help quite a bit. So I'm not great at visual design. That's never really been my thing. So if I can leave that to someone else, then it's gonna be a lot better. But the overall experience on YouTube, yeah, it's been great. Just kind of like Twitch, it's just growing slowly. They're kind of growing at about the same rate. I would say YouTube grows more when I'm not doing anything. Like when I release a video, yeah, I get a lot more subs, but then just every day I get like maybe 10 to 20 subs. Whereas on
Right.
Twitch, it's like it's quite a bit less, but then I get more when I actually stream. So um yeah, I wonder if the YouTube will eventually overtake the Twitch,
Oh,
but
we'll see.
we'll
So
see.
it's
But yeah,
a yeah.
basically it's just a different experience making scripted videos than streaming.
Okay.
Like they're both in the same category. I'm still doing Age of Empires content, but it's completely different.
Is there one you like more than the other?
Not really. I think that both is both work for me. I like them both about equally. And I think if I was only doing one, I would get bored with it. So I think the fact that I'm doing both keeps me a little bit motivated to continue. Because it's like, maybe I don't feel like doing YouTube stuff, then maybe I'll stream. And maybe I get burnt out from streaming. I'm gonna do some YouTube stuff for a few days. So
All
that's
right,
how
all
it
right.
is. And
Okay.
I know that I'm still working towards increasing my brand, you can say.
Okay. So I'm gonna head over to AOE2.net. I'm taking a look at your rank rating here and sort of just looking at the graph here. I'm very bad with graphs, so I'm gonna have to take like a few seconds to figure out what the hell it is I'm looking at. So anyway, so all I know is the start. You started off at like 1348, and you've been steadily going all the way up to 2,180, 188. You're like a top 120 player right now.
Top
So
100 for sure, actually, with all the Smurfs up there.
right, so yeah, so considering the Smiths, Survivalist is a top 100 player. How does it feel to be a top 100
It's
player?
pretty good. I'm pretty happy. Like I reached my elo high today. So I reached 20 that what was it 2188 or something? I reached that earlier today, like 2 hours ago. So that was really great. And I think I can reach 2.2k soon. I feel like I'm playing really well. Obviously that yeah, as I was saying earlier, it's part and due to being a coach these days. It makes me a better player as well. But yeah, if you look at the graph, you can see that I've gotten a lot more consistent recently. Like
Right.
yeah. Like if you look at the end of the graph, there's this big spike. That's when I started paid coaching, and it's like I'm just climbing. Like I haven't dropped down to like 2K or 1900 like I used to. Because if you look throughout the 1v1s, there's a lot of
Yeah.
ups and downs. It's like I'll reach my elo high and then I'll just drop 200 elo. Like there's a few big drops there. But recently this is a pretty long upward climb. Now there's a good reason why I started at lower elo. It's just because I started playing when DE first came out, so everyone's elo was lower back then. So I don't think I've improved like any of the 1300 players right now. They're gonna have a. It's gonna take them longer than like a year and a bit to improve up to this level. It's just
Right.
like I was already pretty good at the game. It's just everyone was lower elo back then. Like everyone was
Uh,
starting to just gain points slowly. So just I'm not saying you can't improve this fast, but I'm just saying that that's not going to be representative of everyone.
okay.
Just because I used to play on HD and for a few years before coming to DE, so I already had a lot of the knowledge already built up.
All right. And so you were saying that actually coaching other people has like helped you in your own gameplay?
hmm A
Yeah.
ton. Yeah. Well, because basically when I'm coaching, I better be presenting accurate information.
Right.
So I have to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. So I end up drilling through the scouts build to make sure it's completely efficient. I know like I think a lot more about what I should do in certain situations like transitions, what to do against men at arms, drush and stuff like that. So I think a lot more of that so that I can present that to other people. But that obviously helps me as well.
All right, excellent. So you're hearing it here from Survivalist himself. Help a noob out, and
There you go.
hopefully
That's
it'll
it.
help you in
Yeah.
your gameplay. Yeah.
Help someone who's 100 elo lower than you, and you yourself will improve.
All right, I'm gonna clip that and I'm gonna upload that to AOE Zone and Reddit and the Age of Empires forum, and hopefully we'll get a much better community going on here. All right, that's excellent. And okay, so of course, everybody wants to know like what's a regimen? Like what's the you get up, you eat some eggs, you go for a run, you come back, you practice your APM for an hour, you cycle through all the builds, you go watch a picture
Well,
of the Viper, and then you can go and crank that AoE. What's a regimen?
normally, well, these days I've been getting up way too late, waking up at like 11 a.m. It's horrible. But, well, although now that I have to get up for Red Bull, I'm getting up a little earlier. But, I'm kind of doing the opposite of what you'd think. It's like get up at 11 a.m., make 3 eggs and 2 toast, make some coffee. If I feel like streaming, I'll start up the stream. Otherwise, maybe I'll go for a walk and I'll go to the lake.
Right.
I usually don't run in the morning. I usually run at like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., like later on. It starts to get dark around that time, and I like running at night anyways. I just find it's good. But I do keep myself in shape. That's one thing. So
Right.
if I've gone like a day or two without running, then I know, okay, I got to go for like a 20K or something like that, something crazy. But yeah, no, nothing special. I usually practice a bit of piano off stream as well, because
Okay.
yeah, that's what I do in between cues, and I have to keep it sort of at a good level. But yeah, no, I don't really do anything consistently every day. I just kind of wake up and I eat at regular times, and I play AoE whenever I feel like it, which is sometime throughout the day usually.
All
I do
right.
play quite a bit, so
Yeah.
definitely not slacking with my practice. But I don't really have any proper practice regimen. I just kind of play ladder games, and as you'll see by my number of ladder games, I'm like top 10 ladder games played on DE, something like that.
Yeah.
And I just play a lot of games. Honestly, it's probably not the best way to improve, but
Right.
you play enough games and you will improve anyways. And I think that's why this coaching thing has actually helped me a lot, because I was just grinding out games and now I'm actually thinking a little bit more about the game. So it's a lot better.
Okay. So what I'm hearing from this is don't necessarily just grind out the games, and there are other other properties that goes into playing at your top other than playing the game, as in keeping your health up, eating properly, getting exercise in. You play music, so you're artistically, always practicing there as well. Would you say
Yeah.
that's on the money? Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely maintaining your physical health will maintain your mental health as well. Go
All
for a
right.
run and it'll make you feel so much better.
Yeah. So you're hearing it here, folks from Survivalists. Touch grass, everyone. Go outside, get that sunlight, get out your basements. And
Mm-hmm.
for everyone who's
Get that
seen
sweat
my
out.
yeah, everyone who's seen my green screen,
Get out of the basement. Yeah.
people think I'm in like
That's a
a
good one.
submarine because they're like circle windows in my house. Listen, I just rent it. I didn't design it. Okay, but yeah, okay. Anyway, so you mentioned Red Bull Wololo a few times, so I just want to kind of get into like your tournament experience. Or what's been your tournament experience been like in Age of Empires?
Yeah, I played in Red Bull Wolo 2 qualifier, 3 qualifier, and now in 4 qualifier. I've done a few other tournaments as well, like I've done Town Bell Cup, probably a bunch of other ones that I've forgotten. But the thing is I usually play really well in tournaments. So if you go on to my Liquipedia page, you'll see that I've knocked out higher level players actually from some tournaments. So like Red Bull Wolo 2, I knocked down Huang, I think. I think it was in number 2.
Oh,
That was in a best of 3 in Town Bell Cup. I think it was Town Bell Cup 2, 3 or 2. One of them. I knocked out Kapoch in a best of 1. So that was a good one. I was happy with that. I've taken a game off of Say My Name. Yeah, you got it up there. It should be
yeah.
there should be like a page for it somewhere.
Matches, I
It
think
doesn't
matches.
really. Oh yeah, like it even shows like 1-2 Tato, 1-3
Oh,
Jibitong.
right.
I've got some pretty good results. Like not big wins against any of the big people, but I always take a game off them at least. Usually it's when I choose Byzantines and I don't expect it, but
Okay.
so yeah, I go full try hard when I'm playing in a
Yeah.
tournament.
And the secret to winning tournaments, folks, pick Byzantine. You heard it here first.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's a plug.
They
Yeah.
don't expect it. They never get banned. They never expect it.
And you're in Red Bull Wololo, the current one, I think, number 4. Is it number
Yeah.
4 that I
Yeah,
have?
yeah.
Yeah.
So the qualifiers tomorrow and the next day. So I'm gonna try my best to get through day 1, and we'll see. I haven't practiced enough Empire Wars. I don't think I'm gonna get through day 2 at least, but we're gonna try our best.
Yeah.
I can be fodder for one of the higher players. I'm sure it's fine.
Okay. And all right, so we don't expect necessarily to make it too far to Red Bull Wololo 4, which is fine, keeping our expectations tempered. But is there a tournament that's upcoming that you're thinking to yourself, I could do something here.
I
I could
haven't.
get in
I don't
here.
really pay too much attention to the tournament scene, honestly. Like
Okay.
I just grind ladder. Like I probably should go on AoE zone more and stuff like that. Usually when I know about a tournament, it's because somebody's like, "Oh, are you gonna sign up for this?" And then I look
Right.
at it, and then sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. Usually I won't though. I don't play a ton of tournaments, but here and there, maybe I should start signing up for more. Although I'm doing so much coaching these days,
Right.
it's hard to find.
So you're not really interested in joining too many tournaments then?
Not too many. No,
Yeah.
no, no. Maybe some of the higher, like if there's higher level tournaments that's like 2K plus only, then
Right.
I would consider. But if it's a regular tournament, the first few games, you don't really get a much experience because it's usually against lower level players anyways. So
Uh-huh.
you might get like 1 or 2 games against a higher level player that is good experience, but a lot of it just kind of takes a lot of time. So yeah, I'm not too motivated to do too many tournaments, and prize pools aren't huge. At least ones that I would be able to win. So
Okay.
yeah, I just keep improving the skills, and maybe I'll get up there one day.
Okay, okay. And well, what are your thoughts on, so not a big tournament guy, what are your thoughts on show matches?
Show matches are cool. Yeah. Well, actually, I have a show match coming up. Me versus
Ooh,
Spring tomorrow at like 6 a.m. my time because I have to get up. We have to both get up for Red Bull qualifier anyways. So,
right.
Graffering streams in the middle of the night, and he wanted to do a show match. Oh, Survivalist versus Spring. That'll be at what is it, like 11:30? No, like 12 a.m.
Hmm.
Yeah, 0 GMT or something like that.
Right.
Tomorrow. But yeah, I like show matches. I don't do too many, but I do like playing in them. If
Yeah.
anyone wants to invite to a show match, I will probably be okay for that because it's not a big commitment. You just go up
Show
for
up
like
and
a couple
play.
games.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so someone's in the chat's actually asking asking what a show match is, and I'll explain it because we'd have some people on YouTube later who's not that familiar. So a show match is basically when someone requests two specific players to play together. It may be free or paid for. Obviously, we always prefer when it's paid for, but that's basically it. Just a show match between two players. I think I got that on the money, right?
Yeah, yeah. Usually
Yeah.
show matches, the players kind of are expected to entertain the audience with interesting strategies as
Hmm.
well. You don't want it to just be try hard, wall up, boring ladder game. It's a show match, so it's got to be entertaining
Right,
for the viewers.
right, right.
So
Yeah.
you
So
keep that in mind. You try and win, but you do a few interesting strategies here and
yeah.
there. At least that's my take on it.
So yeah, so I imagine as you become, uh, as you increase in your Twitch profile and as you increase, in the ladder rankings, a lot more people who actually fund show matches are gonna actually look your way and be like, "Oh, the survivalist kid, he's getting up there. I want to see him square up against the Viper. I want to see him square up against Huang, et cetera, et cetera." Are you like anticipating, that sort of thing coming up in your future?
Oh yeah, maybe a little bit, but there's only so many players at my level that would actually be an interesting show match as well. So
Right.
yeah, like myself versus Huang could be kind of interesting. But this is one of the reasons why we're doing Survivalist versus Spring because we're so evenly matched,
Right.
and we're kind of in a similar time zone as well. So and we're both streamers, so it's like a little bit of rivalry there, you can say. Um, but like you put me up against a 2.4K and it's just kind of a stomp, then it's like it's not even
Okay, yeah, yeah.
not that interesting, right? So there's only really about maybe like 10 to 20 players around my skill that would actually make a interesting show match. So
Okay.
there's only
Uh,
so many people to choose.
so do you actually have any rivalry?
Not
Or
really. No,
friendly
no, no, no,
rivalries?
no,
Not
no.
not any
Well, I
friendly
think
rivalries.
Spring did beat me in the previous show match that I did
Right.
against him, so I do have to get him back. So maybe a
Okay,
little
there we go.
bit.
Yeah. How like how far are you actually like looking to climb in the ladder? Do you have like goals?
Not really. I never really had a goal. I just want to improve, just get better, and slowly,
Okay.
slowly, I will get up there. Obviously, we're all aiming for the top at this level, but uh, it's just a lot of effort to get there. Obviously, I'm already putting in maximum effort, so
Right.
um, you just kind of have to keep going,
Right,
and
right.
maybe you'll pick up some new skills over the course of practice, and that might allow you to get to the next level. That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking, anyways.
So do you see yourself ever cracking like the top 50? Is that
Maybe, maybe.
maybe
Yeah,
okay?
I
All
think
right.
that I am improving faster recently, so I think it's a real possibility.
All right. I mean, I'm
I
looking
can
out
beat
for you
some top
there.
50. Yeah, yeah. Some of the top 50 players I can take down once in a while, so I just need to be consistent.
Right. So okay, at this point, so we're gonna get into audience questions soon, but not right now. Before the audience questions, we will maybe talk a bit about, some stuff about you and your personal life, whatever you want to share. Right before that, maybe you do a little,
Mhm.
thing in
Yeah, I
the
can do some
bit,
piano. I can play the main theme.
but
Let's do it.
before that, I want to ask you some stuff about Age of Empires as a game, as a franchise, as a global phenomenon. The first thing is, do you play deathmatch yourself?
Not much. If you look at my profile, I have like 400 games played, which I say not much, but I used to play a little bit after work when I was tired and I didn't want to go 1v1 RM. But yeah, I don't really play it. Like I understand how it works, kind of to an
Right.
extent, but I'm not really good at it. And yeah, I don't really play it so much. I
Okay.
think it's a good game mode, but it's just not really my thing.
Yeah, I do want to ask, if you're comfortable, just sort of, if you want to express your thoughts on, the recent change from taking DM off the ladder and adding Empire Wars.
Yeah, yeah. For sure. I think that they should just keep DM as well on the ladder because it's going to be a different crowd. Like
Right.
if they add in Empire Wars as well, it's just going to be a different set of people who play that. Like the DM people aren't going to go over to Empire Wars. They're still there. So they like removing the ladder doesn't really make a ton of sense other
Mm-hmm.
than from the perspective of they have to redesign the user interface, which would be a bit of a pain, but I
Right.
think it's worth it to keep the community together. I'm excited for the Empire Wars ladder though. Like I'm gonna be using that for a little while. Especially like as practice for Red Bull. I wish that it was up before Red Bull, but it's fine for the next one, I'm sure. So yeah, I'm not really too opinionated on the
Okay.
issue though. But I think that if they could somehow make it so that they could have all three ladders, that would be great. But
Right.
I will personally use Empire War ladder over DM ladder any day.
Right, right. Okay, understood. And one of the most controversial tweaks they made to the game recently was the Inca villager armor and attack upgrade nerf in Feudal Age. I want to ask how you feel about that in particular, and after that, I want to ask about your feelings about changes to the game in general. But let's start with the Inca stuff.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Inca's change. People kind of stopped Inca trushing for a while, so I actually haven't versed it recently, even before the change. And I think at higher level, like people just know how to stop it,
Right.
like tower rushes in general. So it's just like it's not that effective at higher levels, but I can see how it's super overpowered at lower levels. And I don't know. I think it's fine. Like
Okay.
Incas was just one trick. You just always do it because it's so good that you might as well just play it like that. And like Incas, they have slingers and they have Kamyuk, and you never see those units because everyone just tower rushes and then the game's
Oh,
over. So we're missing out on most of the tech tree just because their tower rush was so strong. So I think it's fine.
okay.
Maybe they could give them one of their upgrades, like maybe give them the attack upgrade. It's really armor that makes them kind of OP because then your units don't kill the enemy
Right.
units. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine. I never really was an Inca player, anyways, though. So yeah, there are a few Inca one tricks out there which are probably super sad, but whatever. It happens.
Naburu. Okay.
Game changes. Well, like did Huang rage when they took away his Dark Age Celt
I don't think
militia
so.
movement speed? I don't know. I
No,
don't think he
I don't
did.
know. You
So
just want to
you can
continue
adapt.
this thing.
You can
Um,
adapt.
were there any recent buffs or nerfs, and it doesn't have to be recent, that you were like, nah, I don't, what are they doing? Anything like you vehemently disagreed with? And
Mm, like buffs and changes.
or nerfs,
I don't think they've
anything?
really made anything like super overpowered
Okay, yeah.
recently. They've done like good changes.
Right.
I find in general. Yeah,
Yes.
I don't think there's any like yeah. The biggest difference would be like Burgundians.
Right.
Flemish Revolution's probably like the biggest thing that's just kind of doesn't really fit in the game, but
Right.
they they haven't really like adjusted it. So
Right. 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 Yeah.
kind of hard to say because that's not really a buff or change that just came with the DLC.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah.
interesting because Masmora pointed this out when we had a debate, I think like a month ago now. He was like, even though there's a lot of QQing over some changes, what you'll notice is there are like 100 changes and only like five ever get attention as being like an outcry, right? So that means like most of the changes actually just kind of go under the radar and people are like, fine. So I think like when I talk to like higher elo players as opposed to low elo players, I do get the sense that they're like, I mean, yeah, the devs are doing, they're doing a good job for the most part. That nothing there is really cramping my style.
Yeah, yeah. They like to do small changes, which is good. Just
Okay.
very small changes. Well, you know what? I have been playing a lot of melee recently, and they did buff those. They gave them one extra attack for the karambits. I've been using those. They're looking kind of OP, so we'll see. We'll
Oh,
see if that
okay.
catches on with the pros. But karambit's a pretty good unit these days. We'll
We heard it.
see.
We heard it here first, folks. Malay karambit spam is the way to go. All right. What? So the new DLC is coming up. Lords of the West, is it? Or Dukes of the West?
That's the previous one. It's I
Duke
can't remember what it is.
something is. So there's a new.
Yeah,
How do you feel about adding more civs to the game?
I don't mind. I like it. I'll pay for more civs. Like
Nice.
the devs have done so much work, and they're not even charging full price for the game. So if they want a little bit more money, I'm willing to pay an extra $5 here and there just for whatever. I don't really care about the civs too much, but
Right.
when they add them in, I'll learn them. The thing is that it makes the game less accessible for newer players because look at how many
Right.
civs we have. The fact that I've played this game from when I was younger, when there were not as many civs, meant that I was able to learn everything gradually over time. But if you get into the game now, and there's like 37 civs or 39 coming up, then how are you going to really know what to do? And that's kind of why I made that simplified tech tree as well. So back to that, anyways. And I'll be adding the new civs into that, so should help with that. But I would say I'm looking forward to it. I have nothing against them adding more DLC because like the game is already not that expensive, so it's whatever. And you don't have to get the DLC either. It's not required to play.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's sort of like my feelings as well, and I'm usually casual about those sort of things. All right. I mean, I think that's it for any like heart burning issues in the AoE 2 community. If I but on a personal note, because I mean, I guess it's my interview show, so I could interject whatever I want. Like, how do you feel about laming survivalists?
I don't really like it, you know? I think I have a similar view as Nilly. It's like just it shouldn't really be in the game. Certain laming is okay, but
Right.
I'm not really a big fan of the boar laming. Like, yeah, it takes skill on both sides, but it's just too game changing. Like, if
Right.
one player has three boars and one player has one boar, like the game is just over. As long as the person with three boars actually plays properly from there. Like, it makes for a boring viewing experience and it makes for a
Right.
frustrating playing experience. So I don't think it's good. I think like sheep laming, okay, yeah, maybe that's okay. Maybe make them spawn a little bit closer. But taking the sheep, it's not as big of an issue.
Right.
Deer laming, that's fine, whatever. But I think all they have to do is make the boars not targetable by the scout, and then we're fine. Just like how they can't target deer, just if they can't target boar, that's fine. If you want to send a villager across the map, that's a bigger risk. That's okay. But I think just specifically scout stealing a boar is the one thing I'd remove. Everything else is basically fine. I don't like straggler tree laming either. That is pretty bad as well.
Okay.
But
Okay.
in general, it's not too bad. But yeah, specifically the boar being stolen by the scout is no good.
All right. Well, I mean, I have similar views, so I'm glad to hear you say. I'm always happy for validation. That's just me as
There
a
we go.
human being. And I'm sorry for your inbox when people see this and they'll be like, "Oh, that's survivalist guy." I've got some words for him. Very
Well, I can
passionate.
handle it. I can handle it.
Got some very
I can
passionate
come up
people
with a
here in the
reasonable
community.
argument.
Okay. All right. So, I want to get into Mr. Piano Man. Do you
Oh
have
yeah.
a song
You
for
want me
us?
to play a
Yeah,
tune?
I wanna,
I can play a tune here.
wanna
All right, let me set up
hear.
my stuff here. Let's see. I gotta. How do I even change my gear here in Discord? Let's see. User settings probably. Voice and video maybe. Oh yeah, here we go. We are gonna go input device on the this one. Okay, so now I should sound really bad, right?
Yeah, you sound very bad.
Okay, good. Because that's my piano mic, and we're gonna change this to that.
Hey,
Do I?
there we go.
Am I? Is it the side view now? There we
Yes,
go.
oh,
Look
look
at
at that
that.
ponytail. That's an epic ponytail,
All right, I'm ready. Okay, I'll play. Oh man, no guarantees for perfect play though.
Right. No, I can't hear anything. Oh no.
You can't hear anything?
No, we can't hear. The mic is going out.
Oh,
Oh, I
un
think this
momento.
somebody says Discord is probably trying to noise cancel the piano.
Oh, uh,
Is it my Discord?
am
I
I back
think.
to my good mic?
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's not
Okay, we'll just do it on this mic.
all right, yeah.
Hopefully it works.
But they
Okay,
do
it's
say
too
you at
loud.
least look good. Even though we can't hear you, you look good playing at least. So that's
Okay,
that's
let's go
positive.
again.
All right, let's go.
Here, I'll turn it to there. Okay.
Oh no, we still can't hear a survivalist. Survival, I'm very sorry. I
Whatever.
apologize. This must be very frustrating for you as a player. Could the last thing we could try is noise canceling on Discord. Could you see if
Oh,
that's on?
let's see. It shouldn't be messing it up from my end.
Is there noise
Like, is
canceling
it
for
just
me? Oh.
is it just like too loud for?
Okay, what
It could
happens
be just
is when you go over to the piano, we hear literally nothing.
yeah. Okay, noise suppression is off now. Okay,
Okay,
here we go.
just type some keys. I'll tell you if I could hear anything.
Yeah.
Ah, we hear it. We hear it. Nice, excellent, good. Let's go.
It's good.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Good. All right, third time's the charm. Let's go. All right, here we
All
go.
right. Okay, so
Hopefully that was okay.
yeah, I think someone said that the low notes weren't coming in as well, but
Oh yeah.
we heard enough. I think I got an earful. I felt like I was in a little concert there, so I'm happy.
It's nice. Here, I'll
Yeah,
change back
Juan
my
Franco is
video
satisfied.
here.
Okay, and that's all that matters.
There we go. Good. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
using my better mic for that, and it's like it's here, whereas the piano is like this way. So the other mic is supposed to be for the other one, but whatever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So that was very good. So that for those who don't recognize it, that was the Age of Empires main theme, right?
Yeah, it was. That's the original. So they changed it a little bit in DE,
Right.
but it's the original.
All right. A real banger throughout the ages. It sounds even better on the pure piano. So I guess how did you get into the piano?
Yeah, so I learned when I was like 8. There used to be a professional pianist on my street here, so just like a couple doors down. He used to teach me just for like a year or two. That got me into it. I learned how to read sheet music and all that. And then I went to middle school and I played oboe. So it's almost like a clarinet, but it's a little different. And it's like like 5 times as expensive. So it's not the greatest instrument for
Right.
young people because they're spending $20 on reeds and stuff like that. But anyways, played oboe throughout high school as well, and I played piano in jazz band. I didn't really like piano until I was in high school though. So I learned when I was younger, but I didn't really get into it until I was in high school. And
Okay.
then once I finished high school, it's like, well, I'm not really going to be playing any other instrument, so I'm just going to maintain piano. And I enjoy classical music, so
Right.
that's why I still play because I just play classical usually.
Yeah. So you just been a music guy for your whole life, basically. Just
Yeah,
loving
kind
music.
of. I mean, it's one of many skills. Like the thing is that I like to do a lot of different things. I'm not really a pro at any one thing, but I like to do a bunch of different
Oh,
things.
you look very pro to us on the keys. So I don't know if we agree. Well, can you get into what are your other? Somebody keeps asking for cat jam on the piano. We're not doing cat jam on the piano. Um,
Well, my cat is here. He just got up for some water actually during that. So, anyways.
what are the other stuff that you are into
Yeah,
music
yeah.
video?
So yeah, for the past 3 years or so, I've been studying Japanese as well. So I've enjoyed watching anime for most of my life. So it's kind of a natural. But yeah, so that's what I do. Sort of, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour a day. I try to, anyways. Some days I skip, but usually I'm doing quite a bit. So learning kanji and grammar and all that kind of stuff. So that takes up a bit of time. I also like to cook as well. So for 6.5 years or so. My first job when I was like in grade 10 was at a restaurant. So yeah, for like 6.5 years, I was working in a restaurant, Indian restaurant. So curry, stuff like that, butter chicken, naan bread, all that stuff I make from scratch. And I love to make it. Um, so yeah. Then basically, yeah, playing Age of Empires, running. Those are the main things that I'm into.
Right. And you so it just okay, very so it's a lot of stuff that you do. You're a very diverse and well-rounded individual, unlike the rest of
I
us
like
basement dwellers in the AoE community, including myself in that
yeah,
statement.
yeah. I don't know. I would just get bored doing the same thing every day.
Right.
So
Yeah. So how do you deal with just grinding through Age of Empires then? Because I struggle with that myself as well. Just
for what?
sorry, how do you well you say you get bored, of just repetition, doing the same things
Yeah.
like AoE can be a grind sometimes. How do you
Oh yeah.
keep with that?
Yeah. Well, I just enjoy it a lot, so I don't mind grinding out.
Okay.
And you can do different things. Like I don't just grind the same strategy all the time too. So I do a bunch of different things, and yeah, it's just like my other hobbies don't really conflict as much with it. So I can go for a run, make some food, play some piano. It's like very different, and then I come back refreshed, ready to grind some more.
Right, right.
But I've always been able to play video games for 12 hours a day or whatever. I don't know. It's a skill.
True gamer. True. Can I get some gamer times in the chat, please?
Yeah, I'm sure we got some gamer time, so I'm sure.
Okay,
Actually, I see quite a few subs.
yeah. And okay, and you mentioned earlier that you've been learning coding. How did you get into coding?
Yeah, so actually in high school, I took a grade 13 because high school is free here, so you can just kind of go for another year. Just
Right.
most people who fail classes, they do that, but I wasn't failing anything. I just was like, okay, well, free education sounds good. So I just came back for a year, and you know what my semesters was band, PE, programming, and a spare. Both semesters, I had
Okay.
no academics, just band PE and programming. So I took 2 courses of programming in grade 13, and that got me into it. And then I just learned on my own. Like there's so much things you can learn on the internet. You just have to be motivated, and you got to know where to look.
All right.
And yeah, you just figure it out over time. So yeah,
Okay.
again, I just pay attention to the details. So that has helped me a lot with learning new skills.
And do you have any future learning aspirations? Anything you're looking to get into?
At the moment, not really. No, there's if I haven't already started learning it,
Right.
I'm not really as motivated to learn anything
Okay.
new at this point. Like I have a lot of things that I still like maintaining piano, learning
Right.
Japanese, uh, getting better at Age of Empires. Like all these things take so much time. I don't have time to add in another skill to the roster.
Understood. And you're a Canadian, eh? That
That is me, eh?
ah, I
Yeah, West Coast,
yeah.
Victoria, BC. I'm actually dipping below the American border, though. Actually, if I go west, or no, sorry, if I go, yeah, wait, no, yeah, if I go east, then I'm in the USA. So, like,
Okay.
where I live is actually below the US border.
Oh,
It's pretty interesting. So I'm like super close to Seattle. I could be
okay.
in
That's
Seattle
trippy.
faster than I could be in Vancouver.
Oh wow, that's amazing. All right. What's your favorite food?
Favorite food? Oh man. Probably spaghetti. Just it's so cheap and so easy to make.
My
It
man.
tastes pretty good. Spaghetti with some garlic bread,
Yeah.
just it's nice. Although, if I got a bit of extra money, I'm gonna say like some seafood, crabs, lobster with some butter.
Okay.
That's delicious.
Yeah, I'm a spaghetti guy myself. I eat that shit all the time. A guy
Nice.
of taste. Quality guy
It's
of taste. I see.
good stuff. Yep, yep.
Any sports? You like any sports you follow?
I'm just a runner. Yeah, I just run. Yeah, I don't watch any sports or anything like that. Yeah,
No
and
hockey?
running's not. No, no, I'm not a fan. I actually dislike hockey. Like, I mean, my dad's really into it. He's a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, but yeah, I've never been a fan of watching sports. Except esports. I used to watch a lot of StarCraft too, and now I watch Age of Empires here and there.
Okay.
I
All
have
right.
known too.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. Do you follow like running, like the Olympics? Do you follow any big runners?
Not really. Nah, not really. It's not really a spectator sport. Like you only really care about the numbers, and it's kind of boring to me. So,
Right.
yeah, those guys they're on another level. They're so fast. So that's all I need
True,
to know.
true. And are you like so for AoE, are you interested in any clans? Have you been or any teams? Has been something that you've
People
been
have tried to scout me. Like DS
Oh.
always is like DS Survivalist, and I'm like, I don't know about that. So
Ah.
I don't think I'll join any clan unless like one of the top clans comes after me.
Right.
I don't think I'll join like any other
Like a
clan because I don't play
CL or
team games
GM.
anyway.
Right,
Yeah, I
okay.
don't really play team games, so it's like I'm just solo anyways. So being in a clan doesn't really give me anything.
Are you gonna get into team games?
I don't think so. I used to play
Uh,
like I have over 1,000 team games on my profile, I think, and I don't
right.
really play them. So it's like I've I've gone through a lot of games, and I've determined that I'm not really as big of a fan.
Okay, you're
It's just like
missing out.
crossover night every game.
AoE
Yeah,
team game is the real I'm saying it here. AoE
I
team game is the real
disagree.
AoE, you know. Okay, anyway, I'm just kidding around. Yeah, I'm going through my list of like things. Oh, any AoE people you'd like to meet?
Uh, I don't know. Doesn't really matter to me. If I meet any of the pros or anything, it's like
Okay,
I've already interacted with a lot of people online
right.
anyways. Meeting them in person is like, yeah, it's like the next step, but it doesn't really matter too much to me.
Okay, understood. If you could visit any place, where would you go? Post-COVID,
Probably Japan.
post-COVID,
Yeah. Yeah,
Japan.
I haven't actually been to Japan, and I am learning the language, so that's
Right.
probably going to be the next destination. I would like to go back to the Philippines, though. I did go there a few
Oh,
years ago.
nice.
That was a lot of fun. Couple of places. Once when I'm in Asia, maybe I'll do a little bit of a tour.
Right. All right, excellent. You want to come to the Caribbean?
I could.
Yeah, okay. Trinidad and
I,
Tobago. All right,
yeah,
all
I'm good with going anywhere, really.
right. Well, if you ever make it to Trinidad and Tobago, you holla at your boy.
Oh yeah, well, you could
Yeah.
be my tour.
All right. Okay, so now I want to get into the audience questions. So I have three. Okay, so I have play some. Okay, Steven77 says play some cricket on the beach. Yes, yeah, that's correct. We do a lot of that down here. I don't know if you know the sport cricket.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, we are a very diverse community here, so Indian people tend to like cricket as well because it's big in
Right.
India as well. There's like cricket clubs around town and stuff. We have everything here.
Okay. All right. So audience questions. All right. So in the chat, tag my name so I can see it highlighted and ask a question. I have a question here from oh, hold on, let me just get to where is this? The first question from Rob Mayhem. Yeah, just a while ago. It was can you ask him at what point does he think someone can't be coached, or if you can always be coached? For example, if someone is 2100, would coaching help at all?
Oh, for sure. The higher you go, the more you're gonna benefit from coaching because it gets a lot more difficult at higher level to actually improve. So if you have somebody above you that's gonna tell you those little things that you need to get to the next level, that's gonna be a lot more valuable, or at least like you're still gonna benefit quite a bit. You're never going to improve as fast as you used to, like when you were lower level. You're always going to improve faster at a lower level. Like once you get to the higher level, there's less to improve on. So it actually helps a lot if somebody tells you what you need to improve on because you don't really know what you're looking for. Like there's not a lot to actually to improve on at that stage. But yeah, I would say that yeah, definitely you can improve from being coached at any level. You're going to get more benefit at lower levels just because there's more to work on, but yeah, no, at higher levels, it's like having somebody point something small out that you never thought of can go a long ways.
Okay. And I have a question here from Zoyaki. Oh, actually, so I have a comment here and from Gamer Gamer ISDC. He said Nilly got coached from the Viper a while ago, and he said that actually helped him. He actually felt better afterwards. So I guess that's kind
Makes
of
sense.
to what you're saying. Even at the top 50 level, it could still work out. And so
Yeah,
Zoyaki has asked, why don't you wear a headset? Audio cues are so important, and audio reaction times are proven to be higher than visual ones. As someone so
yeah,
focused on getting better, why do you deprive yourself of the detail by not wearing? Oh, that's a bit rough. He phrased it a bit rough, but
what?
what's your response to all
Yeah,
this stuff?
yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. I just don't really need it. Like I can hear my speakers are on. It's not like I'm muted or anything. I can hear everything. Maybe it's not like in my head, but
Right.
I can hear things. I don't know. Yeah, like I just find that a headset it gets kind of hot. It's just kind of it hurts my ears after a while. Yeah, maybe I will go like Juan Franco here and with the in ear buds maybe, but even
Right.
those like they kind of hurt my ear. If maybe I need a better fitting one. Maybe my ears are like small or big or something. I got to get the right ones.
No, so
I've never really had. Yeah, go ahead.
actually, like headphones, like these stuff never actually fit me. What I have is, if you could see here, is I have a thingy and it
Oh,
slopes. So
yeah, yeah,
these are the
little
only thing that fits in my ears. Everything else pops out.
yeah. Yeah. So, if I'm feeling it one day, maybe I'll figure something out like that. But
Okay.
my setup works fine. Like I find that I can hear what I need to hear. Although, when it does get to the late game, sometimes I miss some things because I'm so focused. So maybe having certain sounds be a little louder could help.
Right, and we have a question here from Movable35. What's the biggest thing you've learned about the AoE 2 community, chatting and talking with players, viewers, and playing with worldwide?
What's the biggest thing I've learned? Well, probably tons of things, I suppose. It's kind of it's a pretty general question. It's kind of hard to say exactly. I mean, I've generally had really good experiences with the community. That like not too many people actually just BMing or raging or anything like that. You get a few, but as long
Right.
as you just kind of deal with them as they come up. You just have thick skin as well. If they're flaming you, then you just laugh. It's like post in the Discord, hey, this guy was flaming me. Let's all laugh instead of getting all mad yourself. Stuff like
Right.
that. But it's kind of hard to answer because it's such a general question. Yeah, lots of stuff.
And so from Shaman's asked, what anime are you watching recently?
Right now, what was the most recent one? I've been watching Megalobox Nomad. That's airing right now. What else is airing? Tensuraniki is another one that's airing that I've been watching. You know what I was a fan of was Yuru Camp. It's like an anime about adventuring and camping, but nothing happens in it. But it's kind of fun. It's like, oh, I wish I were camping. Lots though. I could
Okay.
go on.
Yeah, and we have a question from. Oh, I can't see who this was from. I think this is from. Right, 775. What are the attributes that make a good coaching student for survivalists?
Somebody who asks a lot of questions is great. If you
Right.
come to the coaching session with a lot of questions, I'm gonna probably be able to answer them. If like I'm gonna come prepared, but there are still some things that you can ask that I won't be going over normally. So, come with a lot of questions. That's the main thing.
Right. And he has another part to the question is what have you found that makes a less worthwhile pupil, someone who won't get as much from experience with you?
Yeah, usually if somebody isn't really taking the advice, I'm gonna be suggesting things that are difficult to change, like say hotkeys. Like if I say, change your hotkeys, and then you just continue to not change the hotkeys over and over, it's like I know it's hard to learn, but you have to take the advice and you have to actually use the advice. So otherwise, you are kind of just better off watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. So yeah, I find just taking the advice that I'm giving. Obviously, you can question it, and I'm gonna give you my answer of why my advice is good. But yeah, actually applying that to your actual gameplay, that's gonna be good. And if you don't do that, then it's kind of like a bit of a waste of time. But
Right.
most people are generally pretty good at that.
Yeah. And 12 Terrador asks, will you be switching to AoE 4 when it comes out?
Who knows? Who knows? We'll see when it comes out. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sure everyone is gonna switch for like 2 weeks just to try it, and we'll see how it goes. If it's good, people will stay. If people like AoE 2 more, then we're gonna come back to AoE 2. That's just how it's gonna be. It'll maybe split the community a little bit, but yeah, we'll see. Who knows? Really, it's impossible to say.
All right, okay. And Big Malo asks, what's your hair care routine?
I use Tresemme conditioner, soft and silky, and also that shampoo as well because it goes on sale and you get a big jug of it and it's pretty good. And it's like a little bit nicer than the cheap stuff. And yeah.
Okay, okay. Gamers, remember, just as important as the gameage is the personal um uh healthcare routine. We gotta keep ourselves fit in every way, not just on the
Mhm.
battlefields. Okay, yeah. And New York Mets 1104 asks, do you play any other PC game?
No, no, no. Yeah, I mean, I used to play StarCraft 2, but then I moved on to Age of Empires. Yeah, I don't really, not with any frequency. I don't really play much. I think sometimes when my friends want to play, like we'll play some Roller Coaster Tycoon 2
Right.
multiplayer mode, which is pretty sweet, but we don't really play anything. Like we'll maybe do some Pokemon ROM hacks or something like that, but nothing consistently.
Okay, okay. And he randomly asked, what's your Fortnite rating?
Yeah,
Nothing zero.
I played Fortnite once or twice and decided that's not the game for me. So
Ah.
I do
Alright.
have two younger brothers who actually are pretty good at Fortnite though, so
Okay,
it runs in
nice.
the family, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, all right. Pro gamer family. We have one more question
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Movable 35. I'm waiting for it to type it out. This is the last question. If anybody has any questions, ask it quickly because we're almost at the end of this segment. I'm waiting for Movable 35 to type out his question. No pressure, Movable 35, but the whole interview series is now strictly focused on you. Okay,
Well,
before he
Google was one of my original fans from Mixer. He was like, he probably knew about me day two, day three, maybe. He was there from the start.
Okay, very
So
nice.
he's one of
So while he
the
asks his question, we have a question here from Omen Zaeli, which might be, I don't know if, do you consider Ethiopian siege onager with torch and injures just as good as Celt siege onagers?
I don't think I've ever seen those two units fight or like in 1v1s you don't really get to see Onager anyway, so I actually can't even tell you how the fight would go because
Okay.
like I don't even have the experience with Siege Onagers to really even say. I would think that Celts might be better because maybe can you get 2 shots? I don't know though, because they still 1 shot, so maybe Ethiopians is better because like you're not even gonna get the second shot with the Celts. So yeah, probably Ethiopians. I think I would say, but then you have to get the upgrade though, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I'd lean towards Ethiopians.
All right. And the last question we're taking from will be from Movable. He asked, if you could choose between Hera and Viper gameplay, what would you choose?
Like to as a playstyle to emulate, maybe like I haven't watched them too much recently. Like I have always been a fan of Viper, but I do watch Hera occasionally as well. I kind of like both their sort of gameplay, and of course they're popular streamers for a reason. So I kind of I don't know. It's kind of hard to choose. That's kind of tricky, but I think like I'd probably favor Viper just because obviously he's been on the top for so many years. But I mean they're both top 4 players, so it's kind of hard to say.
Right, right.
Yeah, I can't really choose one of them over the other. Oh, Celts have HP though. Oh man, you're so right.
All right. Okay. So we're at the end of the audience questions. There's one last thing I'd like to go in with you. There is a little mini game I like to play with my guests. It's I'm gonna ask you like a question, and you have like
All
5
right.
seconds to answer, right?
Oh,
Yeah. You, are you ready? You hyped? You
all right, all
ready?
right, all right. Go. Oh
Okay.
yeah, I don't even know.
I will skip you over if you take too long to answer.
Okay, okay.
Okay. And all right, remove one civ from the game.
One civ from the game. Goths.
Remove one unique unit from the game.
Huskarl.
What's your favorite civ?
Byzantines.
What's your favorite tech?
Oh, elite skirmisher.
Trebuchet or catapult?
Trebuchet.
Would you rather fight one angry large boar or 10 angry goats?
Probably the boar.
Favorite pro player?
Let's say Viper.
Favorite streamer?
Let's say Grathrang.
Burgundians or Sicilians?
Burgundians.
Reddit or AoE zone?
Reddit.
Joan of Arc?
Joan of Arc.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. She's looking pretty hot, I guess.
Okay. The color blue or the color cyan?
I'm gonna go with blue.
Who is hotter between a Huskarl or an Eagle Warrior?
Probably Eagle Warrior.
All right. Kill, marry, smash, right? You know how that goes.
No, what?
Oh, well, you have to pick you kill one, marry one, or smash one. Like you don't know the
Okay.
kill. It's a little weird if you don't know
No.
it. It's all right. I'll ask it all the same. We'll go through it. We're having fun here. We're just having fun here.
Okay.
So you kill, marry, smash, war wagon, loom, or Aztec monk.
War Wagon, Loom, or Aztec.
Yeah. You have to marry one, you have to kill one, and you have to smash one.
Oh, well, we're gonna have to kill the Eagle Warrior.
Right.
Maybe we marry the War Wagon and we smash that loom.
All right. Everybody smashes that loom. That's what we're talking about. All right. Okay. Anyway, nomad or land nomad?
Nomad.
Age of Mythology or Age of Empires tree?
Mythology for sure.
StarCraft or Command and Conquer?
StarCraft.
Of course. Halo or Fortnite?
You know what? I don't really play shooter games, but I'm gonna have to say Fortnite wins out here.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That's the last question. You made it to the end. Yeah. No questions were
Perfect.
skipped. Congratulations. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, so that's the end of the interview. Thank you, Survivalist, for joining us here today. And thank you for everybody for tuning in. We had the whole Survivalist army, if we call them that, come true. I appreciate everybody watching and learning. The video will go up on YouTube for the rest of time. So anybody in the future wants to look back and see what the AoE scene was like, what Survivalist was like back then, we'll be able to do just that. And with that, we're gonna tune out. So, all right, well, okay,
Perfect.
so the interview's over. Thank you, Survivalist, for joining me here today.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, so I think it was a great. I mean, I'll upload the video so those your folks who couldn't catch it,
Yeah.
can
Oh yeah.
see it later.
The EU crowd is all gonna be sleeping right now, pretty much. So
We don't cater to that crowd. We're in the North America. Um,
that's half the audience.
yeah. So anybody in the audience, if you have any suggestions for like interview guests or anybody want to help out with the interviews, you holla at your boy. People have been enjoying these so far. I think I've been going pretty good. I'm actually hoping to interview Hera. Uh, maybe in like a week and a half. I spoke with him, but we didn't like firm down the date. And I've been trying to get like Viper and T West in a debate. I think I mentioned that to you on Discord. But they're both very busy, so it's harder to pin them down for things. But if we're
Yeah.
lucky, we make that happen. And hoping to get our boy Survivalist in a debate someday. He's ever up to it. Listen, the fact
I don't really have any strong opinions on
I know.
things though.
The day you wake
That's
up, Survivalist, and you think to yourself, I'm in the mood for a spicy debate, you holler at your boy. And we make that happen immediately. All right, but okay. All right, well, thank you. I'll let you go. I'll sign off now.
cool.
Take care.